Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about AWS Bedrock with LangChain. Basically, in the last video about LangChain, we talked about how LangChain can be interacted with AWS Bedrock, and as well as in the last video, we also talked about AWS Bedrock complete overview. Now, in this video, we are going to create a small, simple chat-based program using Python, and we will see how LangChain can be utilized in order to talk to AWS Bedrock. Okay, so let's brief about LangChain and AWS Bedrock quickly by this diagram. So we are going to have a GenAI app where we will be creating a small program where the LangChain core will be used as a SDK, which is going to interact with LangChain AWS provider, and that AWS provider basically is nothing but a small module within the LangChain as a package for the AWS, and then it interacts with the AWS Bedrock. Okay, so AWS Bedrock provides an API interface. Basically, it's how it is different from LLM provider, other LLM provider or foundational model provider. It is actually a platform and it encapsulates, it integrates with underlying foundational model, whatever we enable, right? So it interacts with that foundational model to complete the life cycle of the GenAI application, to complete the interaction with the foundational model. So that is how the AWS Bedrock work. Okay, so let us quickly see the sequence diagram that we are going to cover up in this particular video. Okay, so I hope my sequence diagram is visible to you. So in this case, this user is basically the user of the program, the one who is interacting with the GenAI application. So it will initiate a chat, and that chat, the program is making use of the LangChain and LangChain related integration module. So it initiate the chat. So LangChain classes will get initialized. So we first initialize the model. So model is nothing but we initialized a class present within LangChain module, and then what we are using chat bedrock converse is basically a class which is created by AWS Bedrock, and it says that use this class to interact with the AWS Bedrock. Okay, so we are making use of a class which is present in the LangChain AWS package, and then to initialize the model. Okay, and once we initialize it, it establishes a connection with the AWS Bedrock and via AWS obviously, and you need to have AWS security configuration, a credential configuration set up in your system, or if so that is necessary. If you don't know about that, so briefly it is like AWS credentials and config. You need to set it up in the local machine. If you are doing it like this exercise, otherwise we have multiple way of dealing with it. So in this exercise, you can simply install AWS CLI in your system and get your credential and config set up. You have to create a user with IAM user base. Basically, you have to create it and get that secret key and access key, and configure it properly to get this particular setup ready. Okay, and then afterwards, we are going to send a message to the AWS Bedrock. So that message will get responded back by the AWS Bedrock, and then we are going to display it over the console screen. Okay, so this is the sequence diagram, very simple. We are going to cover up multiple prompt and every other related stuff within the LangChain in the upcoming videos, but this is what we are going to do. Okay, so before actually interacting with the AWS Bedrock or running the program, we first have to go to the AWS Bedrock and enable the Nova Lite or any model that you want to use. Okay, so in my case, like I have configured Nova Lite. I've gone to the Nova Lite and go to the, basically I enabled it initially when anybody goes here. So this says that access needs to be requested. Okay, you need to go there, click on that, and then request for the access. So I have covered up in the last video. You can go and check it out. So basically, you need to go to a particular model, select that model, and enable it. Okay, so that is how it works. So if you go to this pro, and if you want to enable it, you can simply go there and grant access, like available to request. You need to go to request model access. Again, you have to click it, like there is one more jump. You need to go, you need to choose that model, like Nova Pro model, available to request. And then again, it will reload. Okay, if I click on this and presented us with a checkbox, right? With a selected checkbox, and then we have to next go to the next and submit this. Then only it will get enabled, and we can make use of it in the LangChain application or in any other application which requires access, which requires interaction with the AWS Bedrock. Okay. So let me go to the VS Code and show you what setup I have for the Python program to make it to run it. Okay. So I have set this Python code with the help of UV package manager. You can watch out my video on UV package manager. So what it's simply like, we simply install it with the help of ppex. in the system, which requires Python already existing. Then we install pipex, then we install UV with the help of pipex, and then we make use of UV to simply set this up. We run the command UV init my app, or whatever app name or whatever project name you want to give. So I've given that, so it automatically generates a small structure for me, and within that structure I have included this for projects folder. Like I've created a folder with the name projects, and then I have created a folder AWS Bedrock. Within that I have created a simple chat.py file, and I have written this program to show you this particular use case. Okay, and then I can run this program with the help of UV run command. Okay, so UV init and UV run command, only two command I have used. Okay, so what I am doing here, so let us see first the what are the packages that we need to install. In order to install any package using UV, I have used UV add command, so don't worry. So here basically this LangChain core, this is necessary, okay, which is the core package to install that. And then we have to install the basically integration partner package. Here I am using AWS. In case of OpenAI, it has LangChain OpenAI. For Gemini it has LangChain Google, LangChain Vertex. There are two variants basically, right? So we have to install this particular package to interact with the AWS Bedrock. Okay, so after installing this, so I will be providing the link to this repo basically, and you can go and check it out in the link description. So don't worry about that. So once we install this and then create a program, so we have to import this particular class chat bedrock converts. There are two classes, chat bedrock and chat bedrock converts. So I would advise that always use this, as this is what the recommendation by AWS Bedrock as well. So as there are earlier one which is not specific, which is not you can say abstracted, like the earlier one is specific to each of the model. So it's better to use this only. So let's use this. After using this, I have to initialize this with the model name, whatever model I want to use or we have to use. So I enabled Nova Lite earlier, like using AWS console. So I mentioned the model name, this Amazon Nova Lite 1.0. Okay, and then after initializing the model, how this interaction work by the LangChain. LangChain says that, or this is the common practice for all the LLM basically. So there is always a system instruction and a human instruction. Okay, basically there are multiple type of like roles which we can associate. One is the system one. System is like our system, like backend system, which is talking to the LLM. This is system. System instruction is like you give LLM like, okay, you need to behave like this. Like for example, if I want to get a essay written, so I can say that you are a writer, okay, and this will be the system instruction. Okay, this is one-time instruction. It is optional. So and then afterwards we keep on giving the user instruction. Okay, user or human instruction and instruction basically, and then whatever response comes from LLM is termed as assistant, is known as assistant or AI message. Okay. And this tool one we will cover up in upcoming video, okay, which is nothing but constructing a function, identifying a function arguments, etc. Okay, and these are the classes within the LangChain, which is corresponding to each of this role, each of the role type message, system message, human message, AI message, etc. Okay, so in this case we just have created an array of two key value pair. One is the system message, which we are saying that, okay, you are a general physician, suggest everything in 10 words. This is what my instruction. So basically we provide the role, what the role that needs to be played by LLM or model. Secondly, what kind of response or format we are expecting. Okay. And then we as a human sends a message to the model, what you suggest for mild fever. Okay. So here I am just hard coded that instruction. Obviously going forward, we are going to learn about prompt. So where we can mention this as a placeholder. Okay. And then I'm using simply model.invoke class method to and initialize it with these messages. Okay, as soon as I got the response, I am printing it. In the response there is a content key which contains the response value from the model. Okay, now how to run this program? Simply type in uv run command, okay, and then simple chat is the name of the program, and hit enter. It will return the response. Okay, now this response comes from the AWS Bedrock via Nova Lite model. So REST, hydrate, etc. This is the response given by the AWS Bedrock via Nova model. Okay. So I hope you understand this AWS Bedrock plus LangChain GenAI application. Very simple application to start with. Obviously, we are going to cover a lot of other program in upcoming video. So hope you will be able to get started with AWS Bedrock and LangChain. So let us understand new examples, upcoming examples in the new videos. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and like to this channel, and we will see you in the next videos. Thank you so much for watching.